William Shakespeare. A name synonymous with genius, creativity, and the very essence of English literature. But who was the man behind the masterpieces? What made his work so timeless, and why does his influence still resonate over 4 centuries later? Stay with me as we explore the life, legacy, and literary brilliance of the world's greatest playwright. Born in 1564 in the charming town of Stratford-upon-Avon, young Shakespeare would grow from humble beginnings into a figure whose words would shape language, drama, and storytelling forever. But his journey was far from ordinary. From comedies that brought joy and laughter, like A Midsummer Night's Dream, to tragedies that delved into the darkest corners of the human soul, like Hamlet and Macbeth, Shakespeare's works are a masterclass in understanding the human condition. To be or not to be. All the world's a stage. If music be the food of love, play on. His words have become part of our everyday language, powerful, poetic, and unforgettable. But Shakespeare's legacy goes far beyond the stage. His themes of love, ambition, betrayal, and redemption continue to inspire movies, novels, and even contemporary pop culture. So, why does Shakespeare still matter today? What makes his work so timeless, and how did one man transform the world of literature? Join me as we unravel the life, works, and lasting influence of the Bard of Avon, William Shakespeare. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and let's dive into the fascinating world of one of history's greatest minds. William Shakespeare was born on April 23, 1564, in Stratford-upon-Avon, a small market town in Warwickshire, England. He was the third of 8 children born to John Shakespeare and Mary Arden. His father was a successful glove maker and merchant who also held local government positions, including alderman and bailiff, similar to a modern-day mayor. His mother, Mary Arden, came from a wealthy and respected family. Shakespeare's exact birth date is traditionally celebrated on April 23, although no official record confirms it. However, his baptism was recorded at the Holy Trinity Church on April 26, 1564, a typical practice of the time. Growing up in a comfortable middle-class household, Shakespeare likely attended the King's New School in Stratford. The curriculum focused on Latin studies, including classical literature, grammar, rhetoric, and logic, subjects that profoundly influenced his later works. There is little documentation about Shakespeare's life between 1578 and 1582, a period known as the Lost Years. Some historians speculate that he may have worked as a schoolmaster or apprenticed in a trade. However, there is no definitive evidence of his activities during this time. In November 1582, at the age of 18, Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway, a farmer's daughter from the nearby village of Shottery, and was 26 years old, making her 8 years his senior. The marriage was unusual for its time due to their age difference and the urgency with which it was conducted. Records indicate that a marriage license was issued quickly, and a bond was paid to prevent any legal objections, suggesting that Anne was already pregnant. Indeed, just 6 months after their marriage, the couple welcomed their first child, Susanna, baptized on May 26, 1583. 2 years later, in 1585, Anne gave birth to twins, Hamnet and Judith. Unfortunately, Hamnet died at the age of 11 in 1596, a tragedy that some believe influenced Shakespeare's later works, particularly Hamlet and King Lear, which explore themes of grief and loss. Though Shakespeare spent much of his professional life in London, pursuing a career as a playwright and actor, Anne and the children remained in Stratford-upon-Avon. The nature of their relationship has been the subject of much speculation, as Shakespeare spent extended periods away from his family. His works reveal little about his personal life, and some scholars have debated the quality of his marriage, referencing occasional ambiguous lines in his plays and sonnets. Despite these speculations, Shakespeare maintained connections to Stratford. He returned frequently, and in 1597 he purchased New Place, one of the largest houses in the town, indicating his continued investment in his hometown and family. By 1592, Shakespeare had moved to London, where he was actively involved in the theatre scene. His first known works during this time included the 3-part play Henry VI and the revenge tragedy Titus Andronicus. These plays established him as a skilled playwright capable of dramatic storytelling and vivid characterization. His early success drew both admiration and criticism. In a now famous reference from 1592, playwright Robert Greene mocked Shakespeare as an upstart crow, a newcomer daring to compete with more established writers. This remark is one of the earliest indications of Shakespeare's growing reputation. When the London theatres closed in 1593 due to a plague outbreak, Shakespeare turned to poetry. His narrative poems Venus and Adonis 1593 and The Rape of Lucrece 1594 were dedicated to Henry Wriothesley, the Earl of Southampton, the wealthy nobleman and patron. These works were highly successful, showcasing Shakespeare's skill with language and securing his financial stability. The poem's success contributed to his rising fame as a literary figure. In 1594, Shakespeare became a founding member of the Lord Chamberlain's Men, a prominent acting company. This partnership provided him with a reliable outlet for his plays and performances. The company, supported by royal patronage, performed at the theatre and later at the famous Globe Theatre, built in 1599. Shakespeare's dual role as a playwright and actor gave him insight into the practicalities of stage performance, which shaped his writing style to suit the dynamics of live theatre. Between 1594 and 1599, Shakespeare produced a series of successful plays that marked his ascent to literary prominence. His comedies, including A Midsummer Night's Dream, 1595, The Merchant of Venice, 1596, Much Ado About Nothing, 1598, demonstrated his mastery of humor, wit, and social commentary. These plays explored themes of love, identity, and the complexities of human relationships, earning widespread popularity. Simultaneously, Shakespeare's historical plays, such as Richard III, 1592, and Henry IV, Parts 1 and 2, 1597 to 1598, reflected his keen interest in English history and politics. His character-driven narratives and exploration of power dynamics resonated deeply with audiences and cemented his reputation. By the turn of the century, Shakespeare had reached the pinnacle of his career. His ability to write profound tragedies elevated his status further. Works like Romeo and Juliet, 1595, Hamlet, 1600, Othello, 1603, exemplified his gift for exploring the darker aspects of human nature, such as love, jealousy, ambition, and fate. His use of soliloquies and psychological depth in characters like Hamlet revolutionized dramatic storytelling and captivated audiences. The period between 1595 and 1605 is often referred to as the Golden Age of Shakespeare, marking the most productive and celebrated phase of his career. During this time, he produced some of his greatest works, blending themes of love, power, fate, and human frailty with unmatched poetic language and dramatic structure. This era solidified Shakespeare's reputation as the foremost playwright in English literature. The Golden Age was characterized by the creation of both his comedies and tragedies, which demonstrated his versatility and deep understanding of human nature. Comedies. Shakespeare's comedies during this period are renowned for their intricate plots, memorable characters, and exploration of romantic and social themes. His comedic works often delved into mistaken identities, gender roles, and the complexities of love and marriage. Notable comedies from this time include A Midsummer Night's Dream, 1595, a whimsical tale set in a magical forest. It intertwines the lives of lovers, fairies, and actors, exploring themes of love's irrationality. The Merchant of Venice, 1596 to 1597, a play blending comedy with serious undertones. It addresses justice, mercy, and prejudice. Much Ado About Nothing, 1598 to 1599, a sharp and witty exploration of romantic misunderstandings and deception. Twelfth Night, 1601, a festive comedy of mistaken identity, unrequited love, and revelry. Shakespeare also mastered the history play, dramatizing the lives of English monarchs. His historical works during this period, including Henry IV, Part 1 and Part 2, 1597 to 1598, featuring the iconic character Falstaff and delving into themes of honor and kingship. Henry V, 1599, celebrating the heroism and leadership of King Henry V. This play is known for the rousing St. Crispin's Day speech. The tragedies of this era mark Shakespeare's deepest exploration of human suffering and ambition. His tragic plays are hailed for their complex characters, moral ambiguity, and philosophical depth. Key tragedies include Romeo and Juliet, a 1595 to 1596, a poignant tale of young love doomed by fate and family feud. Julius Caesar, 1599, a political tragedy examining the consequences of power and betrayal. Hamlet, the 1600 to 1601, considered one of Shakespeare's greatest works. It delves into themes of revenge, madness, and existential doubt, featuring the famous soliloquy, "To be or not to be." Othello, 1603, a tragic story of jealousy, manipulation, and racial tension, centered around the noble Moorish general Othello. Macbeth, 1605, a dark exploration of ambition, fate, and guilt, driven by the influence of supernatural forces and the destructive power of unchecked desire. During the Golden Age, Shakespeare's plays reflected a profound exploration of timeless themes. Love and desire. His comedies often question the nature of love, marriage, and attraction, while his tragedies examine destructive passion and longing. Ambition and power. The pursuit of power and its moral consequences is a recurring theme in tragedies like Julius Caesar and Macbeth. Fate versus free will. Shakespeare's characters frequently struggle with destiny, as seen in Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. Human weakness and virtue. His plays illustrate the complexities of human character, blending flaws and nobility to create timeless and relatable figures. Shakespeare's mastery of language reached its peak during this period, introducing words and phrases still in use today. His innovation in using soliloquies allowed audiences to peer into the minds of his characters, a technique that transformed dramatic storytelling. The final phase of Shakespeare's career, often referred to as his later works, spanned from 1608 until his retirement around 1613. During this period, his plays took on a more reflective and complex tone, marked by a shift from the intense tragedies of his middle period to more meditative, philosophical works that blended elements of tragedy, comedy, and romance. These later plays are often categorized as romances or tragicomedies, exploring themes of forgiveness, reconciliation, and the passage of time. 1. Cymbeline, 1609 to 1610. A complex tale of jealousy, mistaken identity, and redemption, blending tragic and comic elements. It deals with themes of loyalty, innocence, and the power of forgiveness. 2. The Winter's Tale, 1610 to 1611. One of Shakespeare's most famous romances, it tells a story of jealousy, loss, and ultimate reconciliation. The play famously spans 16 years, symbolizing the healing power of time. 3. The Tempest, 1611. Often considered Shakespeare's farewell to the stage, this play is a profound exploration of power, forgiveness, and the role of art. Prospero, the central character, uses magic to restore harmony and relinquishes his power, mirroring Shakespeare's own departure from the theatre. 4. Henry VIII, 1613. A historical play co-written with John Fletcher, it dramatizes key events from the reign of King Henry VIII, including his marriage to Anne Boleyn. The play focuses on themes of political ambition and the fleeting nature of power. 5. The Two Noble Kinsmen, 1613. Co-written with John Fletcher, this tragicomedy revisits themes of friendship and rivalry. The themes in Shakespeare's later plays reflect a mature, philosophical approach to life's complexities. 1. Forgiveness and reconciliation. Unlike the relentless suffering in his earlier tragedies, the later plays emphasize redemption and healing. In The Winter's Tale, King Leontes' unjust jealousy leads to tragedy, but time brings forgiveness and the restoration of lost relationships. Similarly, The Tempest portrays Prospero choosing forgiveness over vengeance. 2. The Power of Time. Time, as a force of healing and transformation, is central to these works. In The Winter's Tale, the passage of time allows for reconciliation, and in The Tempest, it provides the space for reflection and change. 3. Miracles and the supernatural. Shakespeare's later plays often incorporate fantastical elements, such as magic in The Tempest and the oracle in The Winter's Tale. These elements symbolize the mysteries of life and fate, serving as metaphors for the unpredictability of human experience. 4. Nature and renewal. The symbolism of nature as a restorative force is prominent. For example, the pastoral setting in The Winter's Tale represents simplicity, purity, and renewal in contrast to the corruption of the royal court. 5. The role of art and performance. In The Tempest, Shakespeare reflects on the nature of creation and the fleeting nature of art. Prospero's final speech, often interpreted as Shakespeare's own farewell to the theatre, speaks to the transient beauty of life and performance. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. William Shakespeare's impact on literature, language, and culture is unmatched. More than 400 years after his death, his works continue to be studied, performed, and revered across the world. His genius in understanding the complexities of human nature, his mastery of poetic language, and his influence on storytelling have established him as the greatest playwright and poet in the English-speaking world. Contributions to literature. 1. Timeless themes. Shakespeare's works address universal themes such as love, power, ambition, jealousy, fate, and the struggle between good and evil. These timeless themes make his plays relevant to audiences across generations and cultures. 2. Complex characters. Shakespeare created characters of great psychological depth. Figures like Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and Lady Macbeth are richly developed, showing inner conflict and moral ambiguity that make them relatable and memorable. 3. Innovative plot structures. His ability to weave multiple plot lines, use dramatic irony, and masterfully handle pacing has influenced playwrights and novelists for centuries. Influence on the English language. Shakespeare's impact on the English language is profound. He coined or popularized many words and phrases still in use today, including words, assassination, lonely, swagger, puking, and majestic. Phrases, break the ice, all that glitters is not gold, wear one's heart on one's sleeve, and a wild goose chase. His inventive use of metaphor, simile, and vivid imagery expanded the expressive capacity of English. Shakespeare and theatre. 1. The Globe Theatre. Shakespeare was a patroner of the Globe Theatre, where many of his plays were performed. His work transformed theatre from a simple form of entertainment into an art form that could explore profound philosophical and psychological questions. 2. Innovations in genre. He blended comedy, tragedy, and history in new ways. His later works, such as The Tempest and The Winter's Tale, combine tragic and comic elements, creating the genre of tragicomedy. Cultural influence. 1. Adaptations. Shakespeare's plays have been adapted into films, in novels, operas, and modern theatrical performances. His stories are often reinterpreted in contemporary settings to address modern social and political themes. 2. Education. Shakespeare is a cornerstone of English literature studies. His works are a standard part of school curricula worldwide, teaching students about language, drama, and human psychology. Enduring appeal. Shakespeare's ability to capture the full range of human experience, love, hate, ambition, joy, sorrow, and the absurdity of life, ensures his enduring relevance. His works are translated into every major language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. William Shakespeare's legacy is a testament to the power of storytelling and the richness of human creativity. His works, language innovations, and insights into the human condition continue to influence literature, art, and popular culture. Shakespeare remains a timeless figure whose genius transcends the boundaries of time and place, securing his place as one of the greatest writers in history. And so, the story of William Shakespeare is one of timeless brilliance, a journey from the quiet streets of Stratford-upon-Avon to the grand stages of London and the hearts of millions across centuries. His mastery of language, his deep understanding of human nature, and his unmatched storytelling continue to captivate us. From the tragic fall of Macbeth to the star-crossed love of Romeo and Juliet and the poetic musings of Hamlet, his works are more than just plays and sonnets. They are windows into the human experience, exploring ambition, love, betrayal, and redemption in ways that remain relevant today. His legacy lives on in classrooms, on stages, in films, and in everyday language. Phrases he penned over 400 years ago still shape how we speak, think, and dream. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the life and legacy of William Shakespeare. If you've enjoyed this exploration into the world of the bard, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about history's greatest minds. And remember, all the worlds are stage, and all the men and women merely players. Until next time.